Good Friday evening, Southeast Texas. As far as high school football this evening, only looking at about a 10% coverage here in the Triangle, 20% coverage up in the Lakes area. Could be a couple of lightning delays, but right now just very warm and humid across our area. Good luck to area teams. Our forecast shows lower chances, unfortunately, this weekend, and I'll explain why we've had to reduce our rain chances, but a still pretty good chance coming up on Monday and Tuesday. Then maybe a little cooler with a slight chance the rest of the 10-day forecast. As far as the allergy report today, still very high levels of tree and weed pollen across the area. Mold has come down, but it's still pretty high at moderate levels across the area today. So isolated showers, that's a 10% coverage of showers and storms this weekend. Then a 50% coverage on Monday. Tuesday, we'll go with a 30% coverage, and then there's several disturbances, and we'll keep a 20% coverage each afternoon through the middle and latter part of next week into the following weekend. So here's the deal. High pressure just does not want to give up the ghost, and I think it's strong enough over southwest Texas to produce a little bit of substance and high temperatures in the mid-90s coming up tomorrow. So it just does not look like we're going to get that 30% coverage I had yesterday. So we'll go with those highs in the mid-90s. Could see some heat indices coming up near 100 tomorrow. Then if this trough of low pressure cooperates, that could generate some showers and storms up into North Texas, and with the northerly flow aloft could direct them into our area. And then that weak front near our area somewhere, it may wash out, but not a real big cool down, if at all, coming up as we head towards the middle part of next week. In the tropics, Ophelia has formed off the Carolina coast with winds of 70 miles an hour. Hurricane watches are in effect. It's going to be quite the rainmaker all along the mid-Atlantic, obviously well off to the east. In the far eastern Atlantic, we are watching Invest 90L. Good chance this is going to become a named storm as it moves off to the west and northwest. Good consensus that this will continue to move west and northwest and then turn towards the north. So we don't expect this to be a player in the Gulf of Mexico, and it looks really quiet in the Gulf of Mexico through the next 10 days. So 10-20% coverage this evening, and then lows only in the mid-70s expected as skies become mostly clear. Could be some patchy fog in the morning. Then for tomorrow, looking at high temperatures in the mid-90s. And as you can see, modeling just does not show a lot tomorrow. We'll be lucky if we get a 10 to 20% coverage with highs in the mid-90s. On the Gulf of Mexico, looking at slightly choppy seas tomorrow around 2 feet and a south wind at 10 knots. Water temperature at 84 degrees. Tonight, again, you saw a 10 to 20% coverage, mid-70s except for Port Arthur. We do also expect a little bit of patchy fog in outlying areas. Here's the heat index forecast tomorrow. Could be around 100 degrees is what it's going to feel like across the area tomorrow with highs in the mid-90s. And again, we'll go with a 10% coverage. Hopefully we can get that. Otherwise, as we head through the weekend, Saturday evening for the Lamar game, we're going to go with a 10% coverage of evening showers and storms at 6 p.m. with a temperature near 90. And you can see temperatures falling into the low to mid-80s as we progress through the game. Good luck to the Lamar Cardinals. This weekend, as I said, looks hot and humid. We'll go with highs in the mid-90s and just a 10% coverage. Monday, no more than a 50% coverage, then a 30% coverage Tuesday. Lows may cool a little bit Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week, but still every day having a 20% coverage, highs in the lower 90s. Going very conservative as far as rain chances. Could be more than what I expect on Monday. But with the model performance here of late, it's always better to go lower rather than higher. And we'll keep that 20% coverage as we head towards next weekend with highs around 90. Download our app, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, there's more weather at 12newsnow.com.